Okay, well, welcome back. I get this question asked a lot of me, especially around SEO. So I figure I created this website, which you can find on my site, gtmsprint.run/SEO hyphen AEO dot HTML. I know it's a very friendly URL. Anyway, my point here is that I get asked about, hey, we should be doing more about, optimizing for larger language models. The key thing to note, the key thing to remember, like a mental model, is if you win in SEO, if you're doing right things in SEO, and you're gonna win in AEO. Okay, so that it's in simple terms. If you leave away, this is the message. Now, why I say this? This is the thing. Search engines seek and filter top sources, right? So they go out, and I'm going to give you some examples. They go out, and so there's this whole idea of Googles and Bings and stuff, right? They go out looking at brand domain authority, looking at links, page rankings, for example. These are all techniques used by search engines to actually seek and filter the top sources that are going to service to the results. Now, this is important, right? Because large language models seek and learn from these same trusted sources. So when you get this right, when you get SEO, you'll get AEO right as well. So the fundamentals of running, like sort of earning ranking in search, also earns ranking in AI citation. So you get sources, right? With a bit of more formatting, I guess. So what I mean by that is that you got to develop high intent brand authority or authority sort of driven content, and I'll get through some of the examples. You do your basic H1s, H2s. You want to put in your writing FAQs, besides FAQs here, FAQs, but you want to really answer the visitor's question, right? Because you're going to give you some examples of me searching and getting results for certain problems I'm facing. And it's important to have internal and external links where appropriate. Internal links in particular, because you want to get the bot to go and index your whole site, right? So it likes to get an understanding of your whole site. So having internal links, even the classic, if you have an article or blog post, right, link it to a service or a product offer, or link it to another insight or related topic, right? So that's what that is. It's just making sure whatever you write to build that brand authority and high intent is align it to your topic clusters. So whatever, remember we talked about in various previous videos, and I might link it as well. You got your topic clusters should align to your value proposition, which should align to your brand, which is the brand authority doing being. Okay, so your topic clusters could be 3 or 4 areas that you write always to align to your value proposition, which in turn aligns to your brand or brand promise. Okay, so that's another whole video that I did about that. So around that, and so also in the live, I talked about how context is king, and that's really about prompting, making sure you have the right you can track around certain prompts. And HubSpot, for HubSpot actually launched AEO plugin. It's not a plugin, a feature. You can turn it on and you basically track prompts and optimize towards those prompts. So these are the prompts that are most applicable for my ISP, and I'm going to track towards it. And it tracks also against competitors, so brand voice and share of voice and so forth, right? But that's a different video in total. What I want to get to is the basics. So what I'm saying here, if you win at SEO, you're going to win at AEO, right? So here are some other, and by the way, before I should acknowledge this, Cyrus here, he did a study, and you can go visit him, and I'm not affiliated with him, but follow him. He actually did a study and has all these, he filtered out to the top ranking, what makes things rank for SEO and large language models. I encourage you to subscribe to this blog, which is fantastic. He has whole seats of things, but he goes through his study and how he surveyed the results of that study. So just you can find it's one of his posts because it was done recently. Anyway, I won't go into that in detail, but this is sourced from his work. Credit to him. So what I was going to say is these are the fundamentals that I extracted. He had a list, but I said, what are my high impacts, prioritizing. Look, this is, you need to make sure your website is indexable by a bot that comes in. And this is also important from when I talked about internal links, making sure you have links. Ranks in traditional, like if you're not ranking at the moment, then because how is the AI models going to, remember, AI models want to seek the single source of truth, the best source to give a reply back, okay? So all these ones, rank, far out, inquiry, fan out, inquiries, rank across topic clusters. This is why I'm saying here, right? You want to own those top clusters. So when they whatever topic clusters that you write about, remember, topic clusters align to your value proposition, align to your brand and their brand promise. That's all about this brand authority, which I, again, talked about in the beginning. Other stuff, match the query. This is where you have a long prompt. So you might optimize your content, blog post around literally having that as a long prompt. If you're talking about a topic, craft it, write it as a prompt. So then it's easier for the large language model to see that and say, hey, that's applicable to the query that the news there is. Again, I'm not going to go through all these the intent format. So report, comparison, checklists, okay? Content refresh. Again, it's like harvesting your site. You go archive old ones and refresh new ones. Language, and I'm going to go again. I won't go through all these stuff because it would take this video will be super long. But just I want to touch on some of the top ones. Answer top of the page. This is about extracting. This is what H2s are important because you want to extract the meta related to that topic. The rest I'm going to go explicit. So again, this is super important. That's how people search in a way, right? So this is important where you do explicit the phrasing of your words in your content. This is all about content. 80% is content. There is also the technical aspect, and I got it here a little bit. You structure your schema, but it's important because it makes it friendlier for when the source has been trusted. It makes it easier for them to digest that information. You basically write for. If I had to give you another mental model, write as you would write for a large language model. So make that as an ISP that you're targeting. Write like that. Factual claims. I mean, these are all basic stuff. Again, if you win in SEO, you're going to win in AEO. So some of the things that are practical actions you can take. Here are a list of them, right? Ensure the AI bot clause. I just said this, having a sitemap is important. Having a bot text is important. These are all fundamental. These are all, like I said, fundamental things that you do in SEO anyway. So the more you do this and refresh this, the better. Match the content to a 10, and I'll give you some examples. See here's so best X step by step. These are pretty important. That's why people search. They want the best camera, or they want the comparison between this device versus that device. Write a self-contained. So instead of having something like magnesium, give evidence. Give evidence in your case, sources that you've quoted from, like I'm sourcing right now, right, with Cyrus here. Again, there are a lot of other technical stuff that you can consider, but I want you to leave away knowing that search engines optimize for the best sources for any given search inquiry. Larger language models rely on those top-ranked items to learn from. They feed on that in a way. So here's some examples. In your title page, don't have our software solution. Actually be more descriptive, more explicit. There's some more examples where AI secretly searches 5 related topics. This is why the topic clusters are important, right? So you want to have different domains as well, and that's why I've said here. Aligns cover 3 or 4 topic domains. So it covers this again builds your brand authority. And I talked about these already, right? Clear subheaders, FAQs, and numbering, make it scannable, easy, easy to read for both your visitor, your ISP, and also for the search engine. I'm extracting here. So what else here? Structure. I talked about H2s already. Remember I talked about this, or that this is simple principles of SEO. Factual. Again, these are some actions you can take. You can look at this website. So now, what are some things that builds? Before that, insights. These are the questions that you should be posing when you're doing your refresh. Is a page answering the questions? Create 10 prompts that you want to track. That's what you want to optimize, especially if you're a small solo founder. These are the key prompts that I believe I want to optimize. Start writing into those prompts that align to those clusters. Try to you can do that in your H1 or your first paragraph. Answer the question quickly. And does it match the intent? What format? When intent being, is it a case study? Is it a report style? Is it a comparison and stuff? Okay, that's what I mean by that. Is it refresh and updated? Because again, this is if I go to the fundamentals. If you do well in SEO, if you practice SEO principles, you're going to, by definition, by nature, I should say, you're also going to get AEO. Factual. This is basically a checklist to answer your questions, right? Great for users, great for search, great for AI. I mean, these are things that you can take away as sound bites, right? If it's great for users, your ISP, because if you've done your analysis of who are your ISP, it's going to be great for your brand, but more importantly, great for trusted sources, great for search engines. Then it'll be great for AIs to learn from, right? Great for your users, great for search, and it will be great for your AI, large language models. So, summary of what I'm saying here, the tagline, the one-liner, right? Insights. SEO earns ranking by filtering content for trust and authority, right? Building trust and publishing insightful content, comparisons, research, right? And that builds your authority. So that's part of sort of the PageRank calculation. AEO, large language models, builds its knowledge from those trusted sources. Same trusted sources, right? To answer users' direct question without actually, them clicking through. Okay, so again, a couple of things to you might be asking. Okay, well, great. How do I build authority? These are the content. Publish reports if you can. Survey your customer to get that report and give insights back. Do a comparison. Contribute to forums, trusted forums, and publish a PR. You saw a previous video that I published a PR and I contributed in Reddit. I published a YouTube video. I got cited and also top ranked for the keywords I was tracing. Okay, so again, I'll put these they're in the video in my channel, so I'll put them in the notes or in the video itself. Yeah, I mean, if you again things like get write-ups in third-party social proofing. Again, I talked about publishing articles. Publish also if you can, right? Being referenced by even trusted domains. Again, it's how PageRank. It looks at if this page has been also cited by Sydney Morning Herald as a sort of a publication in Australia or any other brand authority already sources. Again, I'm not going to go through this. I want to give you an example. But like I said, the mental model, ask yourself, can I write trusted source that LLMs, large language models, can use and learn from? Remember again, SEO filters junk and surfaces trusted content. AEO learns from that same trusted content to answer those questions. Okay? This is so as I said before, win in SEO, you win in AEO. Now, if I go into an example, okay, so I'm gonna, there was some tax reforms done, and as a small business, you'll probably be querying something like this. And if I search on this, okay, I know this is all. I want you to notice, see how it translates the word, and then it looks at sources. And you didn't see that, but you can pause it. But the sources it news is trusted sources. It would news trusted sources, these are legal firms, right? Because it's these are accounting firms. this is how you can rank for. Okay, this is how you should be looking at it. So look at these sources that, because this company has published content to build their brand authority, but also answering the question, simply answer a question, right? So these are some of the trusted sources that, and I did another one where I and I mean, let's do another. Let's do it in non-publicity. Okay, small business, a tax reform from I can do a federal government, but I'm not going to assuming it knows where I am. Okay, look at that. Looking at tax reform for small business, federal budget. Now look at the sources. See, a trusted source. Trusted source. I mean, these are government sources, to be honest with you, or state government, and it actually knows where I am too. So it's by default, it knows where I am, which is pretty cool. But and then you have your other thing. This is from the government itself, federal government. So sources. This is what I'm saying. It seeks, and these are index oriented. So these, the other example, I bet you any money, but these guys wrote it and last time I published their post quickly for their client base and acceptors. Okay, so they did a quick summary of it and answering the question, and so they yeah, that's what they, and this, let's see what their expertise. Yeah, so the consulting and the legal firm actually. So even the legal firm beats some accounting firms in a way. Okay, summary of all this. If I go back to this and visit my site, there's links there for the sources. If you missed it, there's a source. Go visit, download this, use it checklist. Summary again. Win at SEO. You're gonna win at AEO. Again, search engines, they're geared around optimizing to remove junk from the web, right? And just source, give answers to, and surface the top sources, trusted sources, domain authority sources. Large language model in principle, okay? Seek and learn from those trusted sources, okay? So when you're writing, have that mental model. That's it. That's the video today. Hope that was useful. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, please like, subscribe, because it helps me build more of this sort of stuff.